about to watch the grossest moments of my 600-pound life while I eat chicken. So let's see if I stop eating. Got my sauce, got my ketchup just farting. Because I ran out of my other sauces. All right.
My head is telling me I have to eat the food. I just cannot stop. I try everything in my power.
I'm not gonna lie, I want some of that toast or whatever that was.
Out of the house in over 3 years.
The scariest thing about being homeless is...
Why is it so fast? I didn't think it was gonna like be fast.
Imagine waking up and immediately ordering a massive, unhealthy breakfast all before even brushing your teeth. That was the daily routine for James Bedard, a 35-year-old from New York. For him, ordering copious amounts of food was as thrilling as the Super Bowl. Let's dive into how his story unfolds.
Yeah, pig out during the Super Bowl.
Can I get the 2 slices of steakhouse premium pancake? Can I get 2 orders of that, please?
Steak
I spend most
pancake.
of my time on these delivery services. Can I get the game day family feast? Can I get the original French toast? The amount of stuff that you could get is just crazy, so I get excited. It's like the Super Bowl. You can get whatever you want.
That's a lot of food, though.
And a slice of...
Hi, Sander. I'm good. How are you?
2 of them.
Okay.
I can't eat breakfast a whole lot. Hi, Darats.
James had a real addiction to food. It was his go-to comfort from all the tough stuff in life,
food,
like dealing with his weight. For him, even taking a shower was a huge struggle. He had a hard time just getting into the bathtub, and making sure he was clean all over was a major ordeal because of his size. But how did he end up gaining so much weight in the first place?
Right, that should be fine, right?
Bathing myself is the worst struggle of my day.
Hold
because
on.
moving around when you massage.
Can I even put this on here? It's censored. I'm good. Okay.
Being obese.
We're watching my 600-pound life.
Worst conditions that you could be in your life. I don't recommend this for nobody.
From a young age, James was always hooked on food. With his dad often away for work, his mom showered him with love in the form of endless snacks and meals, leading him to weigh over 100 pounds by age 6. But there's more to the story, especially during his school days.
I grew up around food. It's always been a center point of my life. Coming up in the Caribbean culture, the foods that we used to eat
I feel bad for them, though.
Tasso, bun peze.
I really feel bad for them because, especially as a child, you're not the one making your own food. You have to rely on your parents for that, you know?
Fritai. These are the names that we call them in Creole. You had your collard greens, but they call it legume. You had fried goat. You had sausage. These are the things we ate on a daily basis.
Imagine being so hungry at school that you scheme ways to eat more. James was a pro at this. He made friends with the lunch ladies and even lied about bathroom breaks just to sneak into the cafeteria for extra snacks.
I mean, I would do that too. Why didn't I think of that? I could have had like a spare cookie every now and then if I made friends with the lunchroom ladies. I didn't really buy lunch though. I always had my ham sandwich, my apple slices, and my Capri Sun every single day, baby.
Crazy, right? But you've got to wonder, when would this cycle stop?
I started going to school. I had to find ways to feed my appetite during the day because I was always hungry. So I got cool with the lunch ladies in the cafeteria. I would sweet talk them so they'll sneak me some food in the morning.
I get that riz.
I would lie to the teacher and tell the teacher I'm going to the bathroom, and I'll be end up in the lunchroom multiple times all day. And then I have a heavy meal at night. So it's just basically eating all day. So with all that constant eating.
As he grew older, his dependency on food didn't go away. When his brother went grocery shopping, James would load up the list with ice cream, soda, chips, rib steaks, you name it.
There you go. There you go. If you don't go buy it, and then you have someone else buy it for you, so basically, they're contributing to that. Also, they shouldn't be doing that.
And when all this food arrived, it was party time for James. But with all these habits, did James ever think about taking a healthier route?
He used video call to show me where he's at in the store, so I could guide him to get me what I need.
What?
Yo, that's the ice cream, all right?
Yeah, guys.
All right, let me get 2 ice cream balls. Sure you need 2? Facts, bro. I need that. That's how I gotta do shopping right now because of my size. I have to have assistance like that.
If you can't get out and go shopping yourself, you should not be asking someone else to, like, get all that stuff for you. If I was that guy right here, I'd say, nah, no. we're gonna be doing something else.
My brother does it for me a few
You gotta help.
times a week.
It's basically helping
to
them
help me
if you get
what I
them better
need.
food.
And
You
let
know?
me see
You
what
don't want to
aisle you want, and I'll
contribute
tell you just what to grab.
to all that.
Right there.
Basically, it's,
The soda,
I don't know.
the
I feel like it's
soda.
caring more if you
Let me
say
get
no,
the
I'm
fruit
not
punch
getting that
joint.
for you.
Let me get the mandarin.
Let me get that cheese right there.
Knowing he needed a change, James reached out to Dr. Now, who's known for transforming lives on the show.
Dr. Now, love
Weighing in
him.
at 625 pounds during his first visit, Dr. Now set out a strict new rule book for James. A 1,200 calorie diet and no sugary snacks or alcohol. Everyone watching was on the edge of their seats wondering, could James stick to this tough new diet?
So I'm
Did
going
he?
to give you some instruction
Molly.
that has a 1,200 calorie a day, high protein and low carb diet that I want you to start following now. And it has exercises that I want you to start doing twice a day.
I mean, high protein, you have steak.
And if you follow that,
Well,
you should very
expensive
easily
now.
be able to lose at least 80 pounds over the next 2 months.
In 2 months.
Yeah, okay? That's going to be easy goal to
80?
do if you stick with the 1,200 calorie diet.
Fast forward and guess what? James lost 119 pounds by the end of his episode.
Let's
His
go,
journey from
James!
struggling with basic tasks to getting approved for weight loss surgery is nothing short of inspiring. James's story isn't just about weight loss, it's a powerful story of determination and taking control of one's life.
James, it looks like you're doing great. You lost 37 pounds, so you got some momentum going now.
Yes, sir.
So
Oh, that
in
makes me
total, you lost
happy.
119 pounds, which is a good start. But it's good that you're picking up the pace now.
Yes, sir. I'm picking up the pace and I'm starting to see a difference. And other people are too, you know? My family, everybody, my support system say I'm doing a great job.
That's
so
a good
that's been
family.
encouraging.
Good. So how does it feel almost being in the 400s?
I feel much better.
Every morning, Joyce faced her reality with dread, wondering how she managed to wake up again, knowing she'd face another grueling day. Stuck in her bed and unable to breathe without assistance, she relied entirely on a caregiver to manage her daily needs. Her story is one of immense challenges and struggles, but also a story you won't easily forget. Let's get into the details of her life and see what we can learn.
When I wake up in the morning, my first
I just always wonder, like at this point when you just can't even get up, you're just laying in bed all the time. Like at what point do you just like lay down and you just don't get back up? I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I would want to
thoughts
start
are a
something to
combination of disgust at how
be able to
my
get
life
back
is
up and
now,
walk again.
and shock that I was even able to make it to another day. Because
That's just
every minute
sad.
of it is a struggle now, from the first moment to the last. So I question why God even wakes me up. Just to go through another day like this.
Joyce's battle wasn't just with her size. She also suffered from a massive lymphedema on her lower body,
Oh, gosh.
making it nearly impossible for her to move around. This severe condition trapped her in her room, limiting her mobility to the confines of her bed and a portable potty chair that sat beside it. Imagine the difficulty and the humiliation of having someone else clean you after personal care. This was Joyce's reality, and both she and her caregiver, Dawn, faced these daily challenges together. That must be exhausting.
Exhausting.
Dawn? Dawn? Morning.
Morning.
I forgot to get another Mountain
You ready
Dew.
to get up?
I am. Dawn lives with me and takes care of me. And without her, things would be even worse. Because I can't even get out of bed on my own. That's how bad off my body is now.
Like, what if you don't have help though? Like, what do you do?
Let's talk about her personal care routine, which was anything but simple. Joyce required bathing 2 to 3 times a week, a task that involved a meticulous process to avoid further health complications. Dawn would start by washing under Joyce's stomach area right on the bed. She'd use a hairdryer to dry the area thoroughly to prevent moisture buildup, followed by applying zinc oxide cream to fend off potential infections and sores. Once the front was taken care of, Joyce shuffled over to her potty chair so Dawn could wash her back. Finally, for
She's
Joyce
not
to have her
living.
upper body cleaned, she had to move to a recliner. Talk about the struggle just to get yourself cleaned.
Oh.
But once she's done, she has to use a hairdryer to dry those areas. Because if any moisture gets caught under a fold, it'll get trapped there and mold causes sores that will get infected. But Dawn also has to rub a zinc oxide cream on me to help prevent sores. because without it, the natural chafing I have under my folds can start to break the skin over time.
Now, if dealing with hygiene was tough, managing Joyce's diet was another major hurdle. Right after her exhausting bathing routine,
mold,
it was time to eat.
it's the moisture
But Joyce didn't eat like most people. She consumed meals that equaled the portions for 3 average adults.
There it is. There it is. Don't give her that stuff. I mean, this is already miserable, and she has to lay in bed, have someone clean her, and then move to another chair, and just has no mobility. And then you see this, you witness this, and then you keep giving them food other than helping. When wear gloves to lube them up with cream. Baku, thank you for the follow.
Every meal was a moment of immense joy and relief for her.
I mean, yeah,
it was the time she cherished,
and it makes
a
it worse
time when she could escape her physical confines and indulge in the pleasures of eating. Food was her slice of heaven, her daily reward that made waking up worth it. But how did Joyce end up in this cycle of food dependency and excessive eating?
It's the moment I've been looking forward to since I finished my last meal the night before.
3?
That first bite is the best moment of my day.
You have to know that's bad for you, though.
When I'm eating, I think nothing. That's what the best part of it is.
Came here with a lovely kid.
When I'm sitting there eating, I have no worries about anything. I'm just...
Thanks for coming by, Baku. Thank you for coming in with the raid.
And that's
Hope you enjoy your time here.
I'll sit there in my recliner for the rest of the day.
Joyce's relationship with food is traced back to her childhood. She was a normal-sized kid until her parents split when she was just 3. Her life spiraled into emotional chaos when, at 7, her mother decided to move in with a new partner, sending Joyce to live with her grandmother. Feeling abandoned by her mother, Joyce found solace in eating, with her grandmother providing whatever she wanted, perhaps out of a desire to...
So you don't... The mom doesn't keep her, the dad doesn't keep her, and then... Yeah, I mean, I would be upset too, just being shoved off to my grandparents.
Old, Joyce weighed around 100 pounds.
I love my
Her eating habits were set, and they only grew more problematic as she faced more family upheavals, including her mother's second divorce. Throughout these tumultuous years, Joyce's eating was the one constant, the one thing she felt she could control.
Things changed when I was 7, because that's when my mom started dating someone who would become my stepdad. He had 3 sons and a daughter, but when they decided to get married, my mom moved in with them, but sent me to live with my grandma.
That's so
I felt
sad.
abandoned by my mom.
Could have had another sibling. Something else going on then.
I was upset and really hurt by that, but I did love being with my grandmother because she gave me constant attention and was always feeding me and making sure I had what I needed. And I think that's when my love for food probably started.
Yeah.
But she fed me so much that I put on around 40 to 50 pounds
spoiled
while I was
children
with her.
and grandchildren.
I was 8 then and was around 90 to 100 pounds.
Determined to turn her life around, Joyce finally sought help from Dr. Now, the renowned weight loss specialist on the show.
Yeah, she chose someone else's kids over her own kid. Like, really? Come on.
She was 758 pounds at her first consultation.
Whoa.
Dr. Now admitted her to the hospital, putting her on a strict diet and a regimen of physical therapy. He set a clear goal: lose at least 150 pounds to qualify for weight loss surgery. But by the end of her episode, Joyce had lost only 134 pounds, suggesting she struggled to follow her diet. While she made some progress, her story highlights the ongoing battles many face in managing such profound health issues.
It's a lot of emotional, mental...
There's just no way.
Damage going on too.
It just doesn't make sense.
Oh, we'll be going back soon.
But I know now the scale's definitely
Yeah, she was so close. 130 pounds.
I'm really
That's
upset
so
because
much.
once again, I'm figuring Dr. Now isn't gonna believe me when I tell him that the scale has to be wrong.
But see, if it, like, even if he doesn't approve it, I mean, you know you can do it. She lost 134 pounds. You know you can do it.
Tommy's life was far from simple. His weight brought along not just the usual health concerns, but piled on some pretty severe complications. He suffered from extreme lymphedema and could barely stand for more than 30 seconds.
Dang.
To breathe, Tommy depended on an oxygen tank for every breath. And if that wasn't enough, he lived in constant fear of falling over, because if he did, he might not be able to get up again. To manage this fear, he wore grip socks, even in the shower, to prevent any slips. Can you imagine dealing with all that every day?
I don't go out. I can't do much. And I get sad about it because I remember a day when I just...
No, you can get the grippy things in the shower. So it's not super slick.
But now...
I don't think I could wear socks in the shower.
And the way my body is what keeps me trapped here. But when I get up, it puts pain all through my whole body.
And my feet hurt because they're getting stomped into the ground. My legs ache because of the lymphedema, and my knees ache because they're deteriorating.
At home, Tommy wasn't alone in his journey. He lived with his fiancée, Amanda, who was a pillar of strength for him. Amanda managed their home and cared for Tommy, handling everything from household chores to cooking and serving Tommy's meals. And let's talk about those meals, because Tommy truly had a love affair with food. He didn't just eat 3 times a day, he ate 8 meals daily. Once he started eating, it was hard for him to stop. But where did this all start?
In some ways, I'm already close to doing that because I eat like 8 meals a day. And Amanda is...
Also, again, we have someone who just keeps giving them stuff other than trying to, you know, help them in the long run.
When it cooks and brings it to me to make sure I'm happy.
I get second breakfast like a hobbit.
She always makes something good.
Very, very good.
But my favorite is when she makes me a bunch of bologna sandwiches.
Bologna!
Bologna and cheese sandwich.
I love bologna.
That's probably my Achilles heel. It's hard to stop because it's hard to be happy
once I'm done.
Let's rewind to Tommy's childhood, which was anything but stable. From a young age, Tommy turned to food as his comfort. His home life was chaotic, shadowed by his father's alcohol addiction, which often led to loud and distressing fights between his parents. The situation took a darker turn when he was 8, as he lost his father, deepening his emotional dependency on eating. Food was his escape, a solace from the pain and confusion of losing a parent so young.
I hate that food is like
my father
something
was alcoholic.
That makes it. My dog's coughing. I hate that food that. Dog. I hate that food is something that temporarily makes you feel better because in the long run, you know, you're gonna get more unwell, and then the more you get unwell, the more you want something to relieve, you know, all the, I don't know. You want the happiness back, so you eat more, and then you get more unwell, and then you eat more. It's just a whole cycle. And it sucks.
He meant well.
Oh, shove my face full of ice cream every day, man. I love it.
And most of that was because he drank.
And because of all that, things in our house were chaotic, and we get loud and scary. So what I remember I do is get some food and go eat. Because I always helped my fear go away and I felt better.
But the struggles didn't stop with his father's death. A few years later, when Tommy was 11, he faced another horrifying situation. While his mother was at work, a friend of his mother who was supposed to look after him began physically abusing him. Terrified and alone, Tommy didn't tell anyone about what he was going through. Instead, he found comfort where he always did, in food. No one should ever go through something like this.
It got even worse when I was 11. Because with my mom having
That's
to work a
awful.
lot, she had friends start to watch me when she couldn't be around.
And he kind of started an inappropriate relationship with me, and he molested me. I didn't understand what was going on.
Oh my gosh.
I know I was in pain. I know I didn't like it. And I know I couldn't say anything or I might get hurt.
Fast forward through the years, and by the time Tommy graduated from high school,
so mad.
his weight had soared to over 500 pounds. But at the age of 38, Tommy hit a turning point. He was tired of the life he was leading and desperate for change. That's when he decided to reach out to Dr. Now, hoping for a life-saving solution. During his first appointment, Tommy weighed in at a staggering 641 pounds. Dr. Now put him on a strict 1,200-calorie diet complemented by minor exercises. But would Tommy be able to stick to this diet given his addiction with food?
The thing I wonder is, I'm going to give you both a new diet to start immediately, okay? It's a 1,200 calorie a day, high protein, no carb diet. That will break down what you should and you shouldn't eat, okay?
Okay.
Good. And
You
what
got
I
it.
want to see from you is to lose at least 80 pounds or
He gave them both the diet because, you know, she was eating what she was cooking for him as well, you know?
Very easy for you.
So both of them going at
understand
the
that?
same time.
Okay.
Both of them going at the same time, you have a support system. So that should hopefully, so I guess it can go both ways. You can either have a support system to where like, hey, no, you got this. We're going to go at it together. We're going to, you know, get this weight off. Or you can have, man, I really don't feel this. You want to get some ice cream? Yeah, let's get some ice cream. It's, yeah, that's the downfall of another person joining in with you. because it's easier to fall than to keep going strong. So I really, really hope at the end of the story that they worked together really well.
And I'm going to give you some exercises to start to get more active and make the changes you need to do that.
Okay.
But do you know the worst habit that you have that you're going to be hard to give up?
Food.
No.
What's that?
Dependency on your disability. You're going to have a step down to consider yourself not to be disabled and be more productive and earn your living.
For that.
Okay, we'll see
He
when
looks
we get
determined.
to that point.
By the end of his episode, Tommy had managed to lose 189 pounds.
Yeah, let's go,
feeling
Tommy!
a lot better and more in control of his life. Dr.
makes
Now
me
was pleased, but
happy.
emphasized that it wasn't enough. He challenged Tommy to continue losing weight at a steady pace to qualify for skin removal surgery in the future. Tommy's commitment showed through his progress, highlighting his determination to turn his life around for good.
You're filled with determination.
And, how's the therapy working for you?
Dr. Lola is doing pretty good. She does help me a lot with my issues.
He even looks happier.
Well, you lost 24 pounds over the last 2 months instead of 40. But the good news is 12 pounds a month is better than 8 pounds a month. So you're at least moving in the right direction with that.
Gotta stay positive.
But there is still room for improvement. So keep working hard, continue with your diet, and keep going to therapy.
Get ready for a story of
so proud of
unbelievable
him,
grit
too.
and determination as we dive into the story of Dominic Hernandez. Right from the start, it was clear Dominic wasn't your typical participant. Homelessness had pushed him into a life on wheels, living in a van with his brother James, where the easiest meals they could grab were fast food, a diet that spells disaster for anyone's health. Let's unfold.
Why does healthy food gotta be so expensive, you know? I really think that's like a major problem is the price of everything, which, you know, fast food right now is not really much better price-wise anyway. So, but yeah, no, it sucks that fast food is technically cheaper than healthy
how Dominic
stuff.
tackled these challenges.
And it's easy. You don't have to make anything. You just get it and you eat it, you go.
Because
You're done.
we're homeless and my size makes my
If you're homeless, you
situation
can't really
harder
cook. That's the
because
thing.
of how I struggle
Keep
now
anything
to
fresh.
fit places and do things. I'll just leave. All right. Little painful. My hip kept on bothering me. I had to readjust.
Living in a van also meant that regular showers were a luxury. Dominic and James had to check into a hotel every week or two just so Dominic could bathe. But finding a hotel wasn't the end of their troubles. Due to his size, a standard shower wouldn't do. They had to look for a room with a handicapped accessible shower specifically.
Yeah, I mean, you can always do meal prep and everything too. Like, I'll get a family meal and I'll cook it and then I'll just cut it into sections and take it to work with me. It's cheaper that way. But, you know, it was probably maybe like 3 or so years ago. I don't know. You ever had like the catering food from like a restaurant? They would have the catering stuff and you can bring it home. It was so much cheaper. Easy meal prep at that point. Not that cheap anymore though, unfortunately. But when food and prices start, you know, hopefully going down soon, I hope, because we're all broke. Definitely recommend that. Look at the prices and how much food you actually get from it.
And let me tell you, showering for Dominic was no walk in the park. It was both a physical and mental ordeal, often requiring assistance from his brother James to get properly cleaned. But what led Dominic to this point in his life?
Keep those areas clean. It's important, but that's not always easy. And when we try to get a hotel room, we have to find one with a handicap shower. So
I didn't think about that.
It's been 3 years since I fit into a regular shower. The whole process of staying clean isn't easy for me. At my size, nothing is. Moving through the world feels like
You need to be careful not to fall.
an invisible boulder around my neck, always.
Dominic's troubles began early on. Growing up, he was the chubby kid in the family, always sneaking extra food. His parents were constantly at odds, and by the time he was 9, they had split up. This tumultuous childhood made food.
You know, it seems like it always starts with some sort of like emotional trauma, especially like when you're young and your parents divorce. Typically, they always think, oh, wow, was it my fault? Or, you know, what's going on? You don't really know what's going on when you're a young kid going through that process. And then it just kind of starts a spiral.
Dominic's only solace, his singular source of happiness. It shows just how crucial a stable family environment is for children.
My mom and dad were good parents, but they started to have issues together in their marriage. What started with them fighting more?
That too. That's always sad to see your parents fighting.
Until my mom got to a point when I was 9 that she kicked my dad out. And when that happened, I was devastated.
You don't have a father, you know.
I know James was too, but it hit me really hard.
Up until my dad left, Dominic and I had a great childhood.
Oh.
We didn't want for anything. But when my dad left, that's when the trouble started.
After that, my parents got divorced, and I only saw my dad on weekends.
As the years rolled on, Dominic's reliance on food only grew. Tragically, when he was 34, his mother passed away, which plunged him even deeper into his food addiction. However, a turning point came when he was 37. Determined to turn his life around, Dominic and his brother drove over 2,000 miles to Houston to seek help from the renowned Dr. Now.
Houston?
At his first checkup, Dominic tipped the scales at a staggering 672 pounds. Dr. Now assessed his situation and immediately placed him on a strict 1,200-calorie diet, and also recommended a shelter home where he could stay.
Oh, that's good.
But you both need some stability in your life to start to get things under control like you need. But Dominic, your health is going to start to decline rapidly if you don't do something now to change things.
I understand.
Okay. All right. So let's get you to a homeless shelter, or we'll see about public housing, because you may be qualified for some assistance, and we will have to get a social worker to work with you and see what we can do to get you that. But we get a lot of obstacles to overcome and get your life back.
From then on, Dominic committed wholeheartedly to his new diet and lifestyle changes.
Good.
He worked tirelessly to improve his health and reshape his future. By the end of his journey on the show, Dominic had made significant progress, shedding pounds, and gained a new lease on life.
Because I know one of the big...
And that's good because, you know, if they got him a, you know, public housing or a shelter or something, that means you can actually probably get better food or, you know, be able to cook healthy meals instead of just relying on fast food all the time.
Things that's important is getting some stability in my life. That's not possible with how me and James have been living.
I'm so proud of these
so
people
I know
so
getting
far.
qualified for something like this, we won't have as much constant stress about what's going to happen each day and how we're going to survive. Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Aww.
So I feel like this is a very important and big step in moving forward.